Guys, welcome back to the channel. It is your boy, King Sinbad. But as always, guys, you guys can call me Sin. Alright, so here it is. What if Naruto had the Toxin symbiote? Episode 1, Responsibility. Alright, so to most people, I just look like your normal, average, run-of-the-day kid. I mean, I'm 17 years old. I have a beautiful girlfriend. Her name is Suki Uchiha. Her mother, Makoto Uchiha. Her dad and brother, unfortunately, they died in a car wreck. But since they basically moved in with me and my mother, and my two older sisters, Mito and Kitana. Oh yeah, my mother's name, her name is Kushina. Which really just leaves me. Hi, my name's Naruto Uzumaki. I did have a dad, but unfortunately, right when I was born, he died of cancer. So I honestly really didn't get to know him that much. But from what my mom told me, he was actually a really great hero. Matter of fact, my mother, my two older sisters, hell, even Makoto and Suki, they're all heroes, really. See, they were all born with the X gene, which made them mutants. However, you would never be able to really tell if they were mutants, considering they looked completely and 100% normal. They just looked like a normal, regular human being. Well, my dad, he was also a mutant, but for some reason, though, I wasn't born with the X gene. I don't know why, but not that I'm angry or anything. It's just I just really didn't understand it at the time. But I went to Professor Xavier about this, but he told me sometimes if two X genes with extremely strong resonance can sometimes cancel each other out and making the child just a normal human. But Professor Xavier, he says that I shouldn't let that just determine that I shouldn't let that deter me away from being anything that I want to be. Of course, I was only 5 years old when he told me this. So, really, not really I still have them. I always just wanted to be a hero who protected people. Well, now that I'm older, I'm more like a lethal protector. I'm only going after the scumbags who deserve to die. Now you may be wondering, well, there's a lot of scumbags, but which scumbags am I referring to? Well, that's quite simple, really. I'm talking about the rapists, the murderers, child molesters, sex traffickers, people who just sell children into slavery, and women. So I guess you could always say that I've always just wanted to be a hero when I grew up. But I knew without power, you really can't do anything. Heck, I mean, even Frank Castle, he made a deal with Mephisto, and he became a spirit of vengeance. The Ghost Rider, but I could never just imagine me selling off my soul to some devil, and then afterwards I had to burn for all of eternity. So, you know what I said to that? I said, fuck that. I ain't gonna burn for no eternity. Yeah, screw that. But that's when it hit me. Well, not really when it hit me. More like it was really on that day when symbiotes started raining out from the sky. The one they call Null. He was the supposedly god of the symbiotes. And he almost actually took over the entire universe if it wasn't for the Avengers and, well, of course, Venom. If it wasn't for Venom, we'd probably all be under Null's control right about now. Then, of course, he gave his Venom symbiote to his son, Dylan. But, honestly, that's actually where I first wanted to... I figured if I could ever get my hands on a symbiote, then I could use their power to do some good in this world. To help people, to protect them from the scumbags who would just do anything in any way they can to get what they want. But, unfortunately, I haven't came across any symbiotes. Well, that's actually a lie. Because you see, I'm actually best friends with somebody who has a symbiote. His name is Brent Waters. He possesses the strongest symbiote known to date at the time. He possesses the Toxin symbiote. However, he's not using it for some righteous plan or because he wants to be a hero and actually help protect people. He's more just doing it just to settle some of his dad's old scores. Because you see, his dad... how should I say this? His dad is kind of in and out. He's hardly ever at home, but he's always in debt. So he's just using the symbiote to clear up all of his dad's debts. And I'm not talking money either. I'm talking about, like, hits. So, yeah, there's that. However, he's not my only best friend. My other two best friends are Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Now, pause. Hold on. Okay, so if you guys are wondering what Peter Parker and Miles Morales look like, just imagine from the Spider-Man Miles Morales video game. And their suits are also from Spider-Man Miles Morales, okay? So, yeah. Anyway, back to the story. Anyway. Yeah, I also know that they're Spider-Men. It's just, in a way, I find it almost kind of funny. Everybody I come into contact has some kind of unique power or ability. Me, I'm just a normal, regular kid. Well, I guess you couldn't say I'm normal, considering I go looking for trouble every time I can. Well, that's what my mom says anyways. But, honestly, I never really let that deter me from anything I wanted to do. But, here I am, I'm rambling. But, really, I guess, though, ever since I got the Toxin symbiote, I just felt like I could do anything. It really all just happened on that day. Flashback. Come on, Naruto, you're gonna be late. I know, Mom. Just give me a second. Jeez. Spent all night studying. Well, that's your fault. You should have done your homework right when you got home. Yeah. And this is when we see a red-headed woman kick down the door. And she said, "What did you say?" And Naruto says, "Nothing." And she said, "Yeah, that's what I thought. Now hurry up and get your butt downstairs. Suki's waiting for you." And Naruto says, "Yeah, I know." So anyway, Naruto, he just puts on some black jeans and a normal black t-shirt with a leather jacket. Now, if I was to describe the leather jacket, think of Alex Mercer's leather jacket from Prototype. And of course, he slid on some Adidas. And he just said, "Alright, I'm coming." And then he comes down and he sees Suki. And Suki just gives him a nice, kind, gentle, warm smile. And Naruto says, "What's up, babe?" And she says, you know, just waiting for your lazy ass to get up out of bed." And Naruto says, "Ouch, that's harsh," he said in a sarcastic tone. And Suki says, "Well, I have to agree with your mother, Naruto. You are always just putting things off at the last moment." And Naruto says, "Well, it's not my fault. The work is just so goddamn boring. I don't understand how people can just do it." And she says, and Suki says, "Well, what's so boring about it?" And Naruto says, "I don't know, maybe because I already know it, and that's why I put it off." "Then why were you even bothering studying?" "Yeah, see, Suki, I just completely told my mom that so she wouldn't kick my ass." And Suki just kind of chuckles. She says, "Well, yeah, I could see that happening." And Naruto says, "So, what do you plan on doing today, Suki Uchiha?" And Suki, she just says, What have I told you about using my full name, dumbass?" And Naruto says, "Hey, what have I said about calling me a dumbass?" And she says, "Well, you said my full name, so therefore it's fair for me to call you a dumbass." And Kushina was just steaming. She says, "Would y'all stop using that foul language in my house before I kill you both?" And Naruto stepped up and said, "Hey, Mom, remember what the professor said. You can't use your powers on innocent civilians." She said, "Oh, who said anything about using my powers? I was just talking about this freaking kitchen knife that I have." Naruto says, "Well, geez, sometimes I wonder what's more scarier, you with your powers or you with a kitchen knife." She says, "Well, you need to be afraid of both," Kushina said with a scary smile. And Naruto just lets out a sigh. He's like, what's the point? And Naruto looks at the clock. He says, "Oh, shit. Come on, Suki, we're about to be late." And she's like, "Really?" She's like, "Damn it, Naruto. So busy talking, we forgot." And of course, they run out of the house and right behind them is Mito and Katana. It says, "Those two should honestly just go and hurry up and make out and have sex already." And Katana just laughs. She said, "Yeah, but you know Naruto. He always wants to be a perfect little gentleman." And this is when Makoto comes out of a hallway and stands right next to Kushina. And she says, "So, what are you going to do when Naruto gets married to Suki?" And Kushina says, "Makoto, what are you talking about?" And Makoto says, "Oh, well, just, it's gonna be weird." And Kushina says, "Weird how?" "Well, I mean, they're gonna be, obviously, they're dating, and obviously they plan on getting married. But, it's still gonna be a little weird. I mean, they've been they've known each other ever since they were little. And Kushina says, yeah, I guess you can sit. They almost... But it's honestly their decision. They can do whatever they want. And Makoto says, yeah, I guess. Well, I'm going off to work. Makoto, for her job, she's a lawyer. And she's only a lawyer when there isn't no need for her to do any heroics. Kushina, she is a surgeon. Same thing. As for Mito and Kitana, they're both in college. But luckily their college isn't that far away from their house, so they don't have to move into the dormitories. They can just walk home. Meanwhile, back with Naruto and Suki, as they're running towards the stop sign, they see two boys. And Naruto, well, actually, three boys now that he gets closer to them. He sees Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and of course, Brent Waters. He's like, whew, so we got here on time. And Peter says, man, Naruto, what did you do? Full on sprint? And Naruto says, yeah, something like that. Miles says, let me guess, you overslept. And Naruto says, yeah, again, something like that. And Brent says, you're absolutely hopeless. You know that, right, Naruto? And Naruto says, shut it. Oh, God. And Suki's like, why are you so out of breath? You're the most physically fit person in our entire high school. I don't understand why you're so out of breath. Well, maybe because I haven't ate breakfast yet, so... Oh, shit. Oh, Jesus. And then, of course, around this time, the bus pulls around. And the bus man opens up the doors to the bus, and of course, they all get on the bus. And of course, they usually take their normal seats in the very back of the bus, where it was more quieter and, quite frankly, less annoying. And Peter says, so, Naruto, did you finish the science project? And Naruto says, yeah, it's not that hard to build a reactor. Well, a miniature reactor, I should say. And it took a whole lot longer if we were actually building an actual reactor. Well, this is a group project, so... Suki, did you get the core? And Suki said, yeah, it took me a little while to get the materials right, but I think I found the right materials, so it should go very well with the reactor. And Suki says, so, Pete, did you get all the materials on your end? And Pete said, yeah, I did. That was until Aunt May accidentally threw it away. But I was able to salvage it, so it should be able to run at full capacity when we connect it to the reactor. That's good. And Naruto says, so what about you, Miles? Were you able to find the fabric that I told you about? And Miles says, oh yeah. Man, it took me forever to find it. But luckily you suggested that special spot in Chinatown, otherwise I wouldn't be able to got it. And Naruto says, yeah, no problem. So, what about you, Brent? Did you finally finish the report on the project? And Brent says, yeah, I was able to get it, but it took forever to write, so all I can say is I hope you can read my handwriting. It looks more like chicken scratch. And Naruto looks at it more like chicken shit. And Brent says, hey, not everybody can have perfect handwriting like you can. Naruto says, well, that's because I practiced. If you practice your handwriting more than you did playing video games, you might actually get something done. And Brent says, last time I checked, you were playing those video games with me, so what does that say? Naruto says, yeah, true, but here's the difference. I'm already perfectly caught up to where I need to be. You're still lagging a little bit behind, so I can slack off a little bit. And Suki says, oh really? And who says that you can slack off? And Naruto says, no one. And Pete, Miles, and Brent just kind of laugh and says, well, looks like Suki got you wrapped around her little thumb. And Naruto says, little thumb? Wait. You mean her finger. And they're like, yeah, that. I guess we got the saying wrong. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. So, anyway. A little time skip. They got to high school, and of course, it was time for them to get to their homeroom class, which was actually kind of weird considering they had every single class together. So technically, it was kind of hard to see them ever separate. Well, except for one class. But it's really not worth mentioning considering, well, it allows them basically to get out of school early to go to their quote unquote jobs. Naruto, well, he had somewhere to be, but though he wouldn't really call it a job. More like, well, that's more for later though. Now, remember, Naruto knows everybody's secret identities. He knows who they really are. Except Peter, Miles, and Suki do not know that Brent Waters has the Toxin symbiote. And like I said before, if you guys were paying attention, Brent is not using the Toxin symbiote for, like... He's just basically using the Toxin symbiote just until after he finishes settling his father's scores or hits. After he does that, he's gonna give up the symbiote, the Toxin symbiote. Anyway, back to the story. Naruto says, so, Pete, you ready to get this experiment on? And Pete says, well, yeah, but you do know that we don't actually have to turn it on. We just have to show that we actually did it, right? Naruto says, yeah, but still, might as well go above and beyond. And time skip. 3 o'clock. The final bell rings, and of course, everybody's out for the rest of the day. Naruto says, oh, finally, I thought that torment would never end. And Suki says, babe, what are you doing? And Naruto says, what does it look like I'm doing? And I'm about to go to home and go to sleep. I'm tired as hell right now. Oh, you're gonna go home. Are you sure you're gonna go home, or are you gonna go to that place again? And Naruto just says, look, Suki, I said that was just a one-time deal. I'm not going back. And Suki says, you better not. I don't want to see your face all bashed up again and me having to nurse it so your mom doesn't freak out. And Naruto remembers Suki caught him going to a fight club, so that way he can earn some extra money. Of course, after she found out, she was of course pissed, but she understood why he was doing it. See, Kushina wasn't able to get paid until the week after next week. Unfortunately, neither was Makoto, so really nobody had any way to bring the money in order to pay for this week, pay for this month's bills. So Naruto took it upon himself and got the money that he needed in order to pay the bills to the house to help his family out. And of course, Suki followed Naruto just to really kind of make sure he was okay, because he was kind of brooding that entire day. And of course, she found out, and Naruto basically almost lost the fight, but luckily he has that undying will to never give up. And of course, he won the fight. But anyway, Naruto says, like I said, Suki, I was only doing it just so we can pay for that month. And Suki said, I know, but still, I don't want you to ever go back there ever again. I couldn't stand it watching you get hurt like that. And Naruto says, I'm not some little kid, you know. She says, I know, but still. I mean, if we're going to get married, I mean, obviously we need to be 100% truthful and honest with one another, right? And Naruto says, yeah. But as Naruto was about to walk off, this is when Naruto heard Brent call his name. He said, hey, Naruto, come here. I need to talk to you for a second. And Naruto says, okay. And Suki's following behind Naruto, and he says, sorry, Suki. It's kind of more in private, if you wouldn't mind, please. And Naruto looked towards Suki, and she just has this worried expression on her face. And Naruto says, don't worry, and it shouldn't take too long. We're probably just going to go to the roof, talk for a little bit, and then I'll be right back. Don't worry, just sit here and wait. And for God's sake, please do not tag my locker again. It took me forever to clean that out. And Suki just kind of gave off a devilish grin. She says, no promises, but I will wait there. Naruto says, fine. As Brent says, come on, Naruto, I need to tell you something. And Naruto says, alright, I'm coming, as he follows Brent to the rooftop. Luckily, the good thing is, nobody was on the rooftop, so they could have as much privacy as they want. And Naruto says, so, what's up, Brent? Well, you remember when I talked to you about selling all my dad's old scores, and after that I'm going to get rid of the Toxin symbiote? Naruto says, yeah, still the most stupidest thing you could ever do. Brent says, oh, I'm still going to get rid of it, but I wanted you to know. And Naruto says, why did you want me to know? And Brent says, look, Naruto, you may have everybody else fooled, but you don't have me fooled. I know, remember, we were in kindergarten together. I know about your dream, and I know that you still haven't given up on that dream. You want to become a lethal protector, to protect the people who need protecting, and kill the people who need killing. Unfortunately, Naruto, that's something that I can't do. I can't kill somebody, and I can't protect anybody. I don't have that kind of will or determination like you do. So that's why, after tonight is officially my last night being the host for the Toxin symbiote. And Naruto says, so what are you talking about? Basically what I'm saying, Naruto, is that I'm going to pass the Toxin symbiote on to you. And this completely took Naruto by surprise. He's like, wait, what? And Brent's held up his hand. He says, Naruto, let's face it. I always knew that you always wanted to do something, but you'd never had any powers, so you can't really just go out and stop a supervillain. But you're always fighting for the little guy. And for that, I respect that. Not too many people can do that. And Naruto says, come on, man. So, wait, are you serious? Are you really going to give me the Toxin symbiote? Yeah, man, I didn't stutter. I'm going to give you the Toxin symbiote. Matter of fact, I even talked with Toxin just to make sure it was okay. He said he's all down for it. Matter of fact, he actually said he liked you. Better than he liked me, anyways. And he said not only that, he says that you and him are going to have a perfect sync together. And Naruto says, perfect sync? What do you mean? Basically, he chose you to become his perfect host. Which is actually quite rare, considering he says you have a high synchronization rate, or something like that. I don't know. But not only that, I know that you'll use a Toxin symbiote for good. It's better left in your hands than the hands of somebody else. Because I know you won't abuse the power. I know that if I'm going to get rid of the Toxin symbiote, I want to give it to somebody who I can absolutely, without a reason of a doubt, with 100% certainty, that I can trust. And that person is you, Naruto. And like I said, I know you've always wanted to make a big difference in this world. So, like I said, as officially as of tonight, I'm done being Toxin. And it's time I pass that mantle on to you, Naruto. So, I hope you're ready to go out there and help people, hero. And Naruto says, yeah, don't worry, Brent. I won't let you down. And Brent says, I know you won't. But hey, you might want to hurry up and get back down there. I'm pretty sure Suki's probably tagging your locker as we speak. And Naruto says, oh, crap, you're right. And Brent said, hey, I'll be around about 10 o'clock, okay? I'll give Toxin to you, okay? Naruto says, okay. Alright, thanks, man. Really. I don't know what to say. And Brent says, don't thank me, okay? Just... Oh yeah, and for those of you guys who are wondering, what is Toxin going to be? Well, it's going to be exactly what you see right here. This is what Toxin is going to look like. Red, then black, then green tongue, razor sharp, demonic teeth that could literally rip you apart by biting into you, and razor sharp claws, and of course, all the symbiote powers that come with it. So yeah. Anyway, Naruto hurries up, and luckily, Suki hasn't done anything to tag his locker yet. She was, of course, stewing on the idea, but she never got to it. And Naruto says, alright, Suki, let's go. And she says, so, what did Brent want to talk to you about? And Naruto says, come on, Suki, I know you can just read my mind. Yeah, but still, I'm not... Naruto, you know my thoughts about that. I'm not going to read your mind. That's an invasion of privacy. I'm not going to read your mind unless you want me to. And then Naruto says, then you shouldn't worry about it. Are you sure, Naruto? Is there anything that I need to know? Suki, sometimes I wonder, are you my girlfriend or are you my mother? Like, it's really hard to figure out which one you are sometimes. Like, when you're my girlfriend, I just want to well, I just really want to have sex with you. I'm not even gonna lie. But when you're acting like my mother, it just, like, I get semi turned on, but then after that, I just kind of get turned off. And Suki says, well, sorry, call it a habit, but I just don't want anything to happen to you. I don't want you to get hurt. And Naruto says, I know. And Suki says, well, come on then. And Naruto says, okay, let's go. Time skip at Naruto's house. Currently 6 o'clock p.m. Naruto's just currently laying on his bed, just staring at the ceiling. And he's just in deep thought. And Naruto just says, well, he's thinking. He says, so, tonight, I finally get my dream. I finally get to do what I always wanted to do. But, am I really ready for that kind of responsibility? Am I really ready for that kind of power? And then this is when Naruto just picks up his phone and he calls Peter. And of course Peter picks up the phone and he says, hey Naruto, what's up? He says, hey Pete, I need to talk to you about something. And Pete says, well yeah, sure, what's up, man? Well, you see, man, I just realized that somebody's giving me a lot of power over this certain decision, but I don't know if I'm really ready for that kind of responsibility. And Pete says, huh, well, what's it about, if you don't mind me asking? Naruto quickly thought of a little white lie. Oh, well, it's basically a bet between this one guy and this other guy. And Pete says, uh-huh, well, what are the two guys' name? And, oh, Naruto says, well, it's between Brent and, Flash. And Pete says, oh. And this is when Pete says, well, Naruto, all I can say is, with great power comes great responsibility. That's something that my Uncle Ben told me. So remember, just remember those words. If you're having a hard time coming to a decision about something, remember these words. With great power comes great responsibility. And for some reason, those words just rung through Naruto's head. He's like, huh. Thanks, Pete. You've been a great friend. And Pete says, what do you mean by that? You act like you're going somewhere. Naruto says, oh no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just saying that, you've been a really great friend to me, And Pete says, oh, well, okay. Well, see you later, man. And Naruto says, alright, see you later, man. Naruto hangs up his phone and he puts it on his end table. And Naruto's just lays right back down and he's just staring at the ceiling fan. Hold on, guys, I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. So, anyway, Naruto is looking at the ceiling. As time goes by, he sees that it's 9:30. All of a sudden, Naruto gets a call on his phone. It's from Brent. And Naruto says, hey Brent, what's up? He says, hey Naruto, I was able to finish the score very earlier than I anticipated, so I'm about like 2 blocks away from your house. I'm gonna give you the toxin symbiote now. Naruto says, wait, like right now? He says, yeah. Don't worry, your mom ain't gonna know that I have the toxin symbiote. Naruto says, oh, okay. He says, just be ready to let me in the house, okay? Or better yet, just leave your window open so I can just swing in there. Naruto says, okay. So anyway, he pops open the window. And right on the money, 9:30, Brett comes swinging through Naruto's window, and Naruto sees this behemoth of a monster with razor sharp teeth and a green tongue, red and black claws, and just a monster. And this is, Naruto says, whoa. And Toxin says,
yeah, we get that a lot.
and Naruto says, so I guess you're going to become my symbiote now? And Toxin says,
Yes.
so how does this happen? Do we just like shake hands or something?
Sure, why not?
So Naruto and the Toxin symbiote shake hands as the Toxin symbiote begins to leave Brett. As Brent gets, as the Toxin symbiote shrinks down, revealing Brett, and as the Toxin symbiote is leaving Brett's body and entering into Naruto's body, Naruto could feel it, and Naruto hears a voice in his head. He says,
Hey, I'm in your head.
and Naruto says, ah! And Brent says, yeah, that happens a lot. And then, as the Toxin symbiote has fully, completely left Brent's body and is now bonded to Naruto's body. And Brent says, well, congratulations, Naruto. You're the new Toxin. And Naruto says, thanks, Brent. And Brent says, yeah, no problem. Well, see you later. And Naruto says, wait, how are you going to get down? By going through the window? You do know we're 2 stories up, right? And Naruto says, and Brent says, yeah, but it won't be my first time jumping from a 2-story building. Besides, you have bushes, so I'm pretty sure they'll break my fall. And Naruto says, you're crazy, man. And Brent says, yeah, but not as crazy as you are. But anyway, Brent jumps out of the window and lands in the bush. He says, see, told you. Naruto says, that guy's just crazy, no matter how you look at it. Naruto closes his door, and Naruto says, so you're Toxin, huh? And Toxin says,
Yes, we are. I am Toxin. Or I should say, we are Toxin.
we. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense since you're a symbiote. Now that you're bonded to me, yeah, I guess that does make it a we, huh? And Toxin says,
Yes. So,
and Naruto says, so what?
are we gonna go snack on some bad guys?
And Naruto says, what, are you hungry or something? And Toxin says,
Yes, very much I am. I'm very hungry.
and Naruto says, so what do you like to eat?
Brains.
Naruto says, wait, brains?
Well, you said you're gonna take out the scumbag of the scumbag. So I figure I might finally be able to get some brains.
Naruto says, yeah, well, let me just make an excuse. As Naruto puts on his Adidas and he heads downstairs, and Naruto says, hey mom, I'm gonna be heading out for a little while. I won't be back until 11:30. And Kuchina says, alright, be home on 11:30, not 11:31, 11:30. And Naruto says, yeah, I know. See y'all later. I'm like, alright, be safe. As Suki looks at Naruto with as a curious as her eyes, she narrows her eyes towards Naruto as she's wondering, what is he doing this time? But she just tossed it to the back of her mind and continued focusing on her homework. But anyway, Naruto says, "Alright, so
How do I come out? Like this?"
As Naruto grows, as the symbiote comes out and covers Naruto's entire body from head to toe. As Naruto grows in size, about this size, as Naruto looks at as the symbiote covering his body, he's buffed, he's ripped, and he has claws, and he looks down at his feet and he sees his feet has claws, and he sees a green tongue coming out of his mouth and razor sharp teeth. He says, "Whoa." And Toxin says,
"Do you feel the power?"
And Naruto says, "Yeah. Whew, that was a rush." And he says,
"Well, do you want to swing now?"
And Naruto says, "Swing? Wait, oh yeah, I forgot. Y'all can do that, can't y'all?" And Toxin says,
"Yes, we can."
And then, of course, Naruto sticks out his hand and a web comes out, and Naruto just begins swinging. Later on, when it's darker, Naruto's just currently standing on top of a building. He just says, I can't believe I finally actually get to accomplish my dream." And then this is when Naruto hears a yell. And Naruto looks down. Some guy's trying to rob an old lady. And Naruto says, and Toxin says,
"Bad guy."
And Naruto says, "Yep."
"Well then, let's take care of him, shall we?"
And Naruto says, "With pleasure." As Naruto drops down, as the guy hears the big thud, and he looks, and he is terrified. He is peeing his pants. Like, no joke. He literally just pissed himself. And he says, What are you?" And he says,
We are Toxin."
As Naruto grabs the man by the throat and lifts him up off the ground, he says,
"Eyes, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time."
As Toxin begins to lick the guy's face, and the guy gives off a disgusting, like, ugh. He says,
"Your brain is looking mighty tasty."
and the guy just is like scared. He's like, "Wait, man, you don't have to do this." And then this is when Toxin opens up his mouth and bites the guy's head off and swallows it, leaving the guy on the ground without a head. Of course, the old lady ran away at the sight of Toxin. And Naruto just says, "Whoa, wait, did we just bite that guy's head off?" And Toxin says,
"Yes, but he's a bad guy. And a scumbag at that. He deserved to die. Not only that, little fuel in the tank never hurt anybody."
And Naruto says, "Yeah, I guess." And Toxin says,
"Well, kid, looks like you and I are gonna get along very well."
and Naruto says, "Yeah, glad to be working with you, partner." And Naruto says, "Wait, what time is it?" And Toxin says,
"About 11:30. Why?"
Naruto says, "Shit!" And of course, this is when he hurries up and swings home as fast as he can. But I'm going to leave it off right here, guys. So I know this is a little bit shorter than what you're used to. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me what you guys think about the video. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a great night. I hope you guys really did enjoy the video. But without further ado, guys, see you guys later. Peace out. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and don't forget to comment of what you guys thought about this video. And without further ado, guys, see you guys later. Peace out. Adios.